Scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with a Sketch It Out Thursday video. So for this layout I'm going to be using this old collection from My Mind's Eye called Bohemia. And so I'm just showing you the names of the papers if you want to go look them up. I honestly don't know if they're still available because they are really old, probably at least 3, 4, maybe 5 years old. I really am not even sure because I don't remember when I bought them. But I'm just showing you the different papers, and this one is actually a We Are Memory Keepers paper. Sorry about the focusing here at the beginning of this video. I don't know why it was having such a hard time. So I'm just showing you the papers that I'm going to be using, and then I'm also going to be using that Tombow dot stamp runner as my glue adhesive. So for this layout, I am using a sketch that Jen Gallagher used on one of her 2 peas in a bucket YouTube videos. This week is kind of a special week here on the Crafty Maven. I don't know if you've noticed, but all of our videos are inspired by 2 peas in a bucket. And it was really fun having to sit down and go through some of the 2 Peas Garden Girls videos and projects and things that they created when they were garden girls. And one of the ladies, Jen Gallagher, she did a few sketch challenges on their YouTube channel. So I went and watched all of her, I think there was like 6 videos that she did. And they were all a long time ago. It was like back in 2011. So they're kind of old, but it was still fun to go and watch and see her make her layout. So I am going to include the link below to her video for this specific sketch that I am using. So here I am going to mount my photos on this blue paper. And I don't want a huge border around the photos, so I'm just going to do a little tiny border. And this photo, or not this photo, sorry, this sketch called for 4 photos, but Jen in her video only used 3. I had these 4 photos of my husband's best friend on his birthday. His family had gone out of town on his birthday, and so he didn't really have anybody to celebrate with, so we invited him over for dinner, and it was just a fun time with him. These are photos of him opening his birthday present. My husband and I made him this little lunchbox, and it was my husband's idea. My husband is very crafty. Like, he's crafty when he wants to impress someone, I guess, or do something special for someone. So he came up with this idea to make this lunchbox for his friend. And if you guys aren't, if you don't know gamers or game systems, my husband and his friend are big gamers, and my husband literally has every system that is out there, and I am not joking. So yeah, but anyway, for his friend's birthday, he thought it would be really cool to make him a lunchbox in the with the theme of one of the game systems. So one of my husband's favorite game systems is the Nintendo GameCube, and it's pretty much shaped like a lunchbox. So it was just kind of a perfect little present idea. So I helped my husband make this GameCube lunchbox for his friend's birthday. So these are just photos of him opening it up. Here I am cutting down a strip for the middle section of the layout where I'm going to do my journaling. And then I also cut out with my Silhouette Cameo just a border shape. Here I am going to cut down a white piece of paper, and that I'm just going to glue it down and use that as my journaling strip. I did think about typing up my journaling, but it's just so much easier to handwrite it, even though I hate my handwriting, and it would be a lot nicer to type it. It's just that typing it up and then having it fit, right in the same size of journaling space that I need it to be, and so I was just being lazy. So now here that I am ready to put all of this stuff down. I'm gluing down the photos. And I'm kind of tilting them at a little bit of an angle just to kind of fit them a little bit better on the page. I didn't want them to be so stark and straight and everything. So I just thought a little bit of an angle would give it a little bit more interest. So now I glued down the journaling strip. I also used my Cameo to cut out some birthday themed elements for this layout. So I used the red paper as the back, and then I used white paper as the top design. And it's just going to be a fun little element to add to the layout. So here I'm going to start gluing these together. I'm just using my Tombow Aqua Glue, and I have it in my, what is that thing called? My fine line bottle. And I'm just going to glue these two presents together and then put them down in that left-hand corner to the photos. And now I'm going to glue down all of these balloons. And I'm just going to make 2 different clusters for these balloons. And the cut file also came with little, like, I don't know, decorative lines and things like that. And I believe that they're just supposed to be like lines for the balloons. So here I'm thinking I'm going to use these, or put these balloons in these 2 spots. I didn't want them to all be together. And here is where I'm going to start putting together the squiggly lines. I don't know what you call those. The ribbons for the balloons. So I'm just going to glue these together on the balloon. And I am actually going to end up switching up these squiggly lines because I didn't really like the way that they looked. So here now I'm just using my glue runner to glue down those presents, and then here I'm going to glue this balloon down. And I feel like before I added the squiggly lines, I feel like I had them placed perfectly, and then when I pick them up, of course, it's just like it doesn't look right. So I kind of mess with that for a little while. Okay, so now here I have placed down all of the balloon ribbons, and I kind of played around with them a little bit and decided I liked the way these looked. Now I am off looking through my thickers stash and trying to figure out exactly which one I want to use. For this layout, I stuck to white, blue, and red, but I didn't really want to use those 2 colors. I don't actually have a whole lot of either of those colors in thickers, but I knew I wanted to use thickers. So I'm going to pull out a couple of gold alphas. This one is Fitzgerald from, I think it's Chamel's first collection. And then this one is a Dear Lizzie thicker. So I'm going to spell out the words The Lunchcube, and I am going to end up using this Dear Lizzie really skinny alpha, and I really like how this one looks. I am still tapping my fingers because I'm like, I don't know if I want to do gold, or maybe I should do a different color, but I do end up using this gold, and I really do like how it looks. So I'm just putting it down on the wax paper first, just to make sure that I put it in the place that looks the best before putting it down. So I'm going to put it right there underneath the balloon clusters, and I really like how that turned out. This layout was really very, very simple. Okay, so now I'm done with the title, and I'm just going to clean up my thickers a little bit. And And then I'm going to move on to journaling. So I pulled out this black pen. Even though there's not really any other black on the layout, black is usually the color that I journal in. I did pull out this gold gel pen thinking maybe this would look better because the title is gold. So I'm going to test it out on this scrap piece of paper, and I'm just going to kind of write out a little bit of the journaling just to give me an idea of what it would look like. And I do end up not liking the way it looks. It just, I don't know. Using any other color besides black just doesn't stand out as much, and to me, it just makes the journaling not as readable. So that's usually what I lean towards. So here I'm just going to use the black, and in Jennifer's layout, she actually does a little embellishment cluster above the journaling. And so here I'm going to pull out some of my close to my heart stamps, and I'm not sure what this stamp set is called that I end up using. I pulled this one out, and it has the word celebrate, and then it also has a cute little banner or tag. So I'm going to use this little tool that is called the Stampy Roar, and you can buy that on Bashell on Etsy.com. The name of her shop is Bashell. And what you do is you just place the stamp down where you want it to go, and then you can pull the little plastic piece down and pick up the stamp, and then you can stamp it. You can have the ink on it and then stamp it down. And I really like this. It's kind of similar to the Misty, but the Misty is hugely expensive, and this Stampy Roar is not as expensive. So I stamped down the word celebrate, and then I'm just trying to pick out the color that I want the frame to be. And then I was grabbing a baby wipe to wipe off the stamp. And now here I'm just inking up the stamp with this blue, I think it's outdoor denim. And then I also used goldenrod, and those are both Stampin' Up inks. And with this second stamp, with this frame stamp, it didn't stamp all the way. I don't think I had inked it up enough. So it was nice that I could just ink it back up and then pull the sheet down, and it stamped in the exact same spot. And that's what I really love about this product. Okay, so now I'm just cleaning up my stamp area, and then I'm going to, let's see, what am I going to do? I think I'm going to stamp the date. So I'm pulling out my close to my heart, no, Stampin' Up! Rotary date stamp. And I put the date, and then I picked out one of the phrases, and it just says best wishes. And I'm going to use Slate Gray, which is from, is it Slate Gray? I think it's Slate. It's from Close to My Heart. Okay, so now I'm going to start doing the journaling for real. I did start writing out it underneath the gold in black for a little bit because I wanted to make sure that I really did like the black better, and I did. So I just kind of explained what's going on in these photos. Just about how we made Craig this present and how he loved it. And all our hard work paid off because he loved it. And this project, this little lunchbox, was probably one of the hardest things that I've ever made. The other hardest thing was a raincoat that I made, I think like 4 years ago. Maybe 5 years ago. I made a raincoat for my middle son, and it was the hardest thing to sew because it was I don't even know what kind of material it was, but it was the raincoat material, and it would stick to my machine, and it was just horrible. And I don't really do a whole lot of sewing anymore because I'm a scrapbooker. But anyway, so that is the end of my layout pretty much. I don't think I really do any more than this. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you guys are having a fun week watching all of these 2Ps inspired layouts that we have on the channel. Make sure that you head on over to our Facebook group, and we would love to have you. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.